Hello, today is Friday, March 17th, 2017. I'm Joe Schmidt with TC2, and this is Staying Connected. Last month, Verizon completed the $1.8 billion purchase of XO Communications' fiber-optic network business. Now, the expectation is that this acquisition will help Verizon extend its suite of fixed-line network services, and it will help Verizon Wireless accelerate the deployment of 5G wireless technology. While this might be a win for Verizon, we at TC2 are more interested in how it affects the enterprise market. To discuss this topic, I'm joined by my TC2 colleague, Pat Gilpatrick. Pat is a project director here at TC2. He has over 30 years of direct telecommunications experience, and that includes a long career in customer-facing roles at AT&T. So, Pat, this looks like a good deal for Verizon. It gave Carl Icahn his exit strategy from XO, which he's owned since 2002. But Pat, what does this deal mean for the enterprise market?
Well, Joe, our bottom line is that there will soon be one less low-cost service provider to invite to your next RFP or procurement project. But honestly, when enterprise customers shop for WAN services, we didn't see that XO was a popular alternative to the likes of Verizon and AT&T. They were more of a niche provider domestically, as well as with BT and Orange for international opportunities. But XO did have a sweet spot, particularly here in the U.S.
And what exactly was XO's sweet spot?
Well, when customers needed big pipes, big fiber connections between endpoints here in the U.S., they would often look to XO. And also, as an early entrant, they gained considerable traction in providing centralized SIP trunking opportunities and solutions to enterprises eager to transform voice and video into VoIP and video streams. In the end, though, the clients that I think will be most affected by XO's acquisition are likely to be more small and medium-sized companies whose requirements were a little bit better matched with their service portfolio and their local footprint.
What's going to happen now if you're an existing XO customer?
Well, with the clients that we've worked with, they've received formal notification of the merger now from their XO sales teams that the merger will be finished by the end of this year, and to sit tight, everything's status quo for the time being. So no changes at the moment. However, we expect that your XO team will probably disappear, as typically the supplier relationships that we see with our enterprise clients with Verizon are usually much larger. And when the XO contract eventually expires, the services will probably be subsumed into an existing or even a new Verizon contract. Now, if you also happen to be an existing Verizon client and you're working with both firms, we would suggest that now is a good time to look at your aggregated spend between them and perhaps start to negotiate or at least inform your Verizon team about your consolidation and aggregated buying power before perhaps they decide to put you into something of their own choosing that could be under less flexible platforms like VRD, which is their rapid delivery platform.
You know, I think it's disappointing to lose XO as a service provider, but I also think it's true that this strategic acquisition by Verizon does help them fill gaps for Ethernet, for metro fiber, and building entrances in the U.S. Now, Verizon Wireless, they're going to get to use XO's radio spectrum, and that should help Verizon Wireless improve their coverage. They'll be able to densify their network and hopefully start deploying higher speed 5G services quicker. So these improvements should provide some benefits to enterprise customers, don't you think?
Yes, that's true. And while we're encouraged that the enhancements that XO may afford to Verizon, I think what you mentioned is also very true. We're mindful that the supplier consolidation can have negative consequences, and that to us means that you've lost one potentially highly leverageable low-cost provider in your procurement activities, and that cost advantage may disappear once these operational efficiencies are realized with the merger.
Yes, that's sad but true, Pat. Sad but true. So, Pat, do you have any final thoughts?
Well, just to reiterate what we do often, which is to make sure that the enterprise procurement teams and telecom folks maintain as much flexibility as they can generally in their contracts so that they can work with different WAN solutions with a little more leverage and other suppliers into the mix. So it's always best to be positioned to maintain a very healthy competitive tension between suppliers. We just have one less player out there to do that with. But most important, to just maintain with whomever your contracts are with enough buying power and flexibility to take advantage of opportunities as they come along.
Fantastic. Thank you, Pat. And thank you to the audience for listening. If you don't know TC2, we provide enterprise customers with telecom and ICT lifecycle support from the device to the data center. If you need help, please give us a call.